Another one of those Jeet Kune Do topics that you always hear about. And then you got to ask yourself, do they even understand what they're saying? Hello, everyone. This is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Do Rebel. Welcome to the I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcast number 241. This is the one about Jeet Kune Do's totality versus partiality, or lack thereof. As you're logging in, if you'd be kind enough to say where you're logging in from, hit the like button. Feel free to continue doing so throughout the broadcast. If you're catching the simulcast over on YouTube, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell as well. If you enjoy my work and you'd like to support the program, please visit jkdrebel.com, click on the Rebel Gear link, and that's where you'll see stuff like this. The JKD Notables coffee mug, also available as t-shirt, long sleeve, short sleeve, hoodie, all that stuff. But of course, the best thing you can do is to share this video and spread the word about the I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcast. So let's open up with the Bruce Lee quote about this issue. Having totality means being capable of following what is, because what is constantly moving and constantly changing. If one is anchored to a particular view, one will not be able to follow the swift movement of what is. Well, it's kind of esoteric, isn't it? Right? Doesn't really tell you what's going on. So, alternatively, let's use a quote that I use in today's preview postcard, which says, grappling, kicking, throwing, punching, striking, etc. are parts of a whole which make the total me. Now, that's more like it, isn't it? It tells you that if you're going to be like Bruce Lee, then you got to grapple, you got to kick, you got to throw, you got to punch, you got to strike, etc. Right? And he actually used the word total, didn't he? So if we take that literally, then we can be left with the idea that Jeet Kune Do is all about empty-handed fighting. Right? So let's see if so Ramon Diaz is here and Anthony Barreto is here. I think something might have gone wrong on the Facebook, because I don't see, I usually don't check this stuff, but I don't see that anybody has logged in on Facebook, which is kind of interesting. As you guys know, I've been having all kinds of, like my Facebook account gets blocked at least once a week now. That's been going on for about a month and a half, 2 months or so. So I'm not really sure if anybody is on Facebook Live with me right now, which defeats the whole purpose of the audience participation. But I got Bucky Barreto and Ramon Diaz over on the YouTube, so I'll throw the question out to them, right? So break down in Jeet Kune Do. I'll give you like 10 seconds or so. Break down what empty hands training would be by Jeet Kune Do standards, Jeet Kune Do methodology. Right? I don't know what's going on here. So if Bucky or Ramon come up with anything, we'll keep going. Okay, so I'm forced to answer my own question, right? If you break down empty hands, essentially you could use what some people call the 4 ranges of combat, what I call the 4 skills of empty-handed combat: kicking, punching, trapping, and grappling, right? Or if you're cool, nowadays it's just 2. It's striking and grappling, right? We can further break down kicking into the use of the foot, shin, and knee. We can break down punching into the use of the fist, forearm, and elbow. We can categorize trapping as the temporary immobilization of a limb. And grappling, we could categorize as a takedown and or control maneuver, whether standing or on the ground, right? AKA standing, grappling, or ground fighting. Well, that's a fairly exhaustive list already, right? So no wonder that some people consider that to be total Jeet Kune Do. But go back to the esoteric quote. Having totality means being capable of following what is, because what is constantly moving and constantly changing. Well, what if that change involved weaponry? Now we realize that in order to be total, aka complete, one must have training in empty hands and weaponry. There's no two ways about it. So let me make it simple for you. Let me check again and see if anybody has anybody else has clocked in, as they say, right? This is actually a question I should have started with, right? So speaking holistically, if I were to tell you there's only two types of martial art training, what's your answer? There's only two types of martial art training, right? So I'll give you 10 seconds to come up with an answer to that. And hopefully in the replay, when more people are looking at this, I'll get more answers, right? There's only two types of martial art training. In the entire spectrum of the martial art world, there's only two types of training. What are those two types of training? So anybody who's hung with me for a while would know that when I ask that question, the answer to that is empty hands and weapons. That's it. That's all there is to martial art training. So then you go ahead and you break down empty hands and weaponry. So if we go back to the more nebulous statement that Bruce Lee made about totality, then we come up with a different picture. Empty hands and weaponry, not just the quote about kicking, punching, grappling, throwing, whatever. So now we break down weaponry. So what do we find? Long, medium length, short weapons, impact or blunt weapons, and edge weapons, fixed as in like straight, hard weapons, right? And flexible weapons, handheld weapons, throwing weapons, projectile weapons. So that too, like the empty hands, is a relatively exhaustive list. So if you're any kind of logical person, then you see that if Jeet Kune Do is truly about being a total martial art, then it must incorporate training in empty hands and weaponry. And again, no two ways about it, if you're a logical person, that is. So what to do? You could try to work it all out by yourself. I'm talking about what to do when it comes to weapons training in Jeet Kune Do, right? You could try to work it all out by yourself using your in-depth knowledge of Jeet Kune Do, or you could find a weapons art that qualifies as being and then you could learn that, modifying as necessary, where, when, and if necessary, using Jeet Kune Do guiding principles and philosophies. And to some extent, that's what happened with Filipino Kali inside the Jeet Kune Do world. But I say it to some extent because in some instances, the Kali which became popular was the seminar version where, to use a labored analogy or metaphor, the entire menu was cooked up and presented, giving people an endless supply of tasty morsels from different Filipino kitchens. And some JKD people went as far as to sign up for complete courses in culinary skill at a particular Kali kitchen, right, where they could learn the entire cooking system, apparently without realizing that the real job was to identify and then learn how to use the common ingredients which had the highest probability of delivering consistently tasty meals. If you get my reference, like I said, a labored metaphor or analogy. I forget which is which, right? I keep trying to find an old Chris Kent magazine article where he showed JKD's 5 ways of attack applied in Kali single stick. But maybe I imagined it because I have not been able to put my hands on it. If anybody, when you hear this, if you know that article that I'm talking to, if you could tell me where to find it, then I might just do a Sunday video, a Sunday YouTube video about it this weekend. Right? Anyhow, in a final analysis, one should be able to say, I use Kali as my Jeet Kune Do weaponry approach without disturbing the peace of mind of any Jeet Kune Do purist, who, for his own part, right, should be asking, how do I approach weaponry in my total JKD training, right? So what say you? What do you think? Jeet Kune Do, totality, how do you approach it? If you don't approach it truly total, are you then being partial? And where does partiality fit into Jeet Kune Do? Let me know what you think in the comments below. That's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Follow me on Twitter at Dwight Woods and on Instagram at Dwight D. Woods, at paypal.me/unifiedma Miami, Jeet Kune Do Journey Volume 1, raw but edited version. And coming up on, hang on one second. What happened there? Oh, okay. All right. Coming up on Friday, August 26th, 6 p.m., Jeet Kune Do Dialogues returns to the airwaves with Lamar Davis of Hardcore Jeet Kune Do. So tune in. He confirmed everything. Tune in with at 6 p.m. on Friday. What else? I think that's it, right? So, okay, today is a red day. This shirt does double duty, right? As as a 1 or as an 11. Okay, so it's a red day. It is a red shirt, and then there's more red in the back of the shirt. Right? Okay, so forgive me. All right, so that's it for today. I'll see some of you on Friday, 6 p.m. to talk with Lamar Davis. Otherwise, I'll see you next week for another issue of the I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcast. Until then, this is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Do Rebel, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care. Talk soon.